Hey everybody, Dr. Jaime here, and you are about to listen to the Dr. Jaime Show audio experience. I hope you enjoy the tips and advice in this segment. Hey everybody, welcome to the Dr. Jaime Show audio experience. Today I have with me Robert Hessel, a returning guest. He chatted with us a little bit about Cyber Monday deals, but today he's going to take the Dr. Jaime Show dark. And we are going to talk about the dark web and how to stay safe online. Robert is with Source One Solutions, my source, the number one solutions.com. Robert, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me again, Jamie.
Yeah, so we're taking things dark, and this is an area that I don't know too much about, so I am going to be kind of learning as we go here. The dark web, we've kind of heard about it. It sounds super spooky. What is it?
It is super spooky. So if you think of the internet as what you would normally find as your names, your definition of the names, phone numbers, addresses, like going through the white pages or the yellow pages in a phone book. That is the normal internet. Well, the dark web is actually none of those things. It's private addresses, like your own personal address book. The dark web is all part of the internet. It's just not listed. So you have to have some special softwares to access it. Many of the reasons that people on the dark web are all bad. So it's not really a place that you need to be.
Okay, yeah, I asked you before the show, as silly as this sounds, hopefully there's one listener that is along the lines here with me, but I was like, I looked on my computer one time for dark something, and the dark web came up, and I was so scared to click it, and I'm thinking, what if people wanted to know more about it? How do you find out any information, like what we're talking about today? But you're saying you have to have a special software to get into the real dark web, is that right?
That's right. In order to get into the dark web, you have to have a special software to access it. So if you were to go and Google dark web, you'd probably get to a page that's going to give you some information on it. You're not actually going to be sent to the dark web.
Okay, thank goodness, because I told you beforehand, I was thinking my computer was going to go into this virtual world and the lights were going to go out in my house.
Okay. Yeah, the FBI is not going to show up at your door, I promise, unless you. Yeah. Nobody's going to kick down your door, I promise. You'll be all right.
Okay, good. This audio is not being tapped in right now. Okay, good. We're all right.
That's right.
Okay, so is there any way, since most of us will never go on the dark web, it's a place we don't want to be, is there any way to protect ourselves from the dark web?
Yeah.
And I ask this because, you know, I teach a class at Ashford University, and we talk about this cyber stuff. And one of the things that I challenge my students to do every term, it's actually an assignment, is to Google yourself. But you can't go on the dark web and Google yourself and say, oh, my God, I got to get that down. So how can we protect ourselves when we don't even know it's out there?
Well, a good place to start is the credit sites, like Experian, TransUnion, or Equifax. They all have monitoring services that you can purchase monthly. Some have them for free, but it's always a good idea to have some reputable antivirus or anti-spam or firewall services set up on your home or your office.
Okay, excellent. So definitely those antivirus softwares are good, and maybe signing up for one of the main credit bureaus, they have scans for the dark web. Is that what it is?
That's right. It's very important because while you're out surfing the normal internet, the dark web and the people on the dark web are out there fishing for information, trying to steal your social security number, trying to steal your credit card numbers. So it's very important to make sure that you use some smart browsing habits. Don't go to sites that may be risque or you think are out of the norm anyway. And definitely make sure that you have reputable antivirus and anti-spam and firewall services.
Okay, is there a particular antivirus software that you would recommend?
Norton antivirus is probably the most common. There's many different types out there and free softwares. There's some that are paid for softwares, but you definitely need on your computer to have antivirus software.
Okay, excellent. So now what are just some general tips for online safety aside from the dark web? Maybe your top three, like you've got to make sure that you do this.
Yeah, well, you should be, number one, be smart about where you're browsing around the internet. Stay away from nefarious types of websites. Be very careful when you're surfing the internet and you're purchasing things online. Make sure that you see that HTTPS, which means secure website, before you put any of your personal information in, so that the people on that dark web that are out there trying to get that information from you are not seeing you.
Okay. All right. Very good. And now one of the things that I tell my students is changing your passwords and also change them frequently, have that password book. We talked about that in the Cyber Monday episode you did, but also make them uncommon. Like mine should not be Jamie Kulaga 123. And it's not, for all you hackers that are listening, it is not Jamie Kulaga 123. But, really making
Oops, didn't mean to say that.
Yeah. So, but I try to make them uppercase, lowercase, weird characters, numbers, and I do make them different across the board because these hackers are getting so good, and they can go look up my birth date online, or they can look up who knows. These people are so patient. They'll sit and they'll wait and they'll piece together info.
They are, and there's actually programs out there that are trying to crack your password. So a lot of people think that if I use an uppercase and a lowercase and a number and a asterisk or a dollar sign, that I'm actually making it more difficult to crack. But actually, those are still quite easy to crack. The best way and the securest way to set up a password is to make it a short little phrase that you can remember.
Oh, okay. Okay, good to know.
So not your pet's name, not your date of birth, not your address, any of that stuff, but make it just a short little phrase that's much harder to crack.
Okay, wow, that's an excellent tip. Now, this is a little bit off the cuff. I know we went off the cuff in your last episode. I want to do that again here. Cookies. So one of the things that I talk to my students about is clearing your cookies. But they're so convenient. We're in a society where we just want everything saved. It's so much easier to do our banking and our credit cards and go get all these sites. Is it really important to clear your cookies? And if so, how often and why?
Well, I think it's important to clear your cookies and get rid of the cache on your website, because though it is easier, it also, it does open you up to some potential risks.
Okay, very good. How often would you say, on a general basis, should we clear them?
It depends on how much, I guess, you're surfing on the internet. If you're on the internet a lot, you should probably do it more often than somebody that's very, very rarely on the internet and poking around here and there.
Okay. All right. My last question for you is regarding social media. I think we really have to be careful with social media nowadays. So what would you say would be your top 1, 2, maybe even 3 safety tips when it comes to the different platforms on social media?
Well, my first safety tip would be for parents. It's really important to monitor your children's social media accounts, not just to see necessarily what they're posting, but who are they talking to and who's following them, even more importantly. My next tip is, it's really fun to go on vacation and post all the pictures of you having a great time and sipping a margarita from the poolside bar. But that is just opening up for the bad people that are watching on the internet or on your social media, letting them know that they're a million miles away on vacation, so their home is empty. This is a great time to burglarize their home. So my advice would be save up those pictures, enjoy the moment, take them, but don't post those pictures until you get back.
Absolutely. And one thing, too, another tip out there for you listeners is so often we'll take a photo. Be cognizant to what you see in the background. So let's just say I'm taking a picture of my kids on their first day of school, and the numbers of my house are in the back of the photo. Be careful. That's your address that you're now posting out. People might love it, not even realize it. They start sharing it out with people you don't know, and before you know it, people know who you are, the kids that you have, and your address in one simple post. So be really careful as to what is making it into the captured photo as well. Would you agree with me on that one, Robert?
That's a great point, Dr. Jamie. And just to expand on it a little bit more, once you post it, even if you delete it, it's still there. So be very careful what you're posting on social media.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much, Robert, for joining us again on the Dr. Jamie Show.
Thank you for having me. It's been a blast.
Yeah, everybody, you are listening to the Dr. Jamie Show audio experience with Robert Hessel with Source One Solutions, my source, the1solutions.com. Do me a favor, go to YouTube, go to iTunes, subscribe to the Dr. Jamie Show. Every like, every follow means so much, and it keeps bringing on amazing guests like Robert. so they can share their knowledge with you about the world. And everybody, go ahead and comment below this video with your biggest takeaway from this particular episode. Have a great day and stay safe online.
Thank you so much for listening to the Dr. Jaime Show audio experience. I really hope that you enjoyed the tips and advice given on today's segment. Do me a favor and go to iTunes and my YouTube, and please subscribe to that channel. Every subscribe, every like, every follow helps the Dr. Jaime Show grow so that we can bring you the best guests and the best content possible. And of course, as always, if you have any feedback, feel free to leave that as well. Talk to you soon.